2 a.m. Pitch dark. Concealed in the heart of dense forests of Chhattisgarh. The CoBRA Commandos rise as a symbol of hope and resilience. Against the Naxal threat that dares to challenge the peace and security of our motherland. Their name derived from the deadly and stealthy nature of the CoBRA epitomizes their operation style: silent, swift and lethal. Each commando is equipped with state-of-the-art gear, advanced weaponry, has a sharp mind capable of making split-second decisions. Hours passed and the commandos faced various challenges, traps and ambushes. Yet they persisted and neutralized India's enemies. Their successful mission was a triumph not only for the commandos but for the entire nation. Naxal-related violence in the country has decreased by over 70% in the last 9 years. Since 2009, a total of 34,644 operations have been launched, resulting in elimination of 394 Naxals or insurgents. 3,208 Naxals or insurgents have been apprehended. 1,041 surrendered. 82,818 detonators and 1,511 arms recovered. So who is fighting Maoist insurgency with courage and precision? Well, get ready to experience the hair-raising journey of the Commando Battalion for Resolute Action of CoBRA Commandos of CRPF. Hello and welcome viewers, you're watching National Security with your host Kriti Mishra, and today our focus is on CoBRA Commandos of CRPF. In this edition, let's live a day with CoBRA Commandos. Let's travel inside the deep forests of Bastar and Dantewada, and let's also visit the training academy of CoBRA Commandos in Belgaum and Karnataka. So get ready for this unmissable experience on Sansad TV, and let's experience the valorous and unflinching commitment of CoBRA Commandos. Come on up. The Commando Battalion for Resolute Action is a specialized force established to undertake operations of guerrilla and jungle warfare, specially tailored for addressing the Maoist insurgency, earning them the moniker of jungle warriors. CoBRA personnel are meticulously chosen from the CRPF as CoBRA operates as an integral part of the CRPF framework. The pillars of CoBRA's identity encompass courage, zeal and patriotism. Before their assignment to CoBRA battalions for anti-naxal operations, these individuals undergo intensive training in both commando tactics and jungle warfare. A total of 10 CoBRA units were raised between 2008 and 2011. Following comprehensive training, all 10 battalions were deployed across regions affected by left-wing extremism and insurgency, spanning states such as Chhattisgarh, Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Assam and Meghalaya. CoBRA emerges as one of the nation's premier central armed police units, adeptly trained to not only survive in the challenging jungle environment but also to emerge victorious. Its distinction as the foremost central armed police unit in the country remains unquestionable.
From national security point of view, this is the most important force to fight Naxals, and it has successfully discharged its duties, in the sense that it's not a claim, but the fact is that you don't have Naxalism in Bihar today, and CoBRA played a major role in dislodging them from a very big stronghold of Chakrabandha. Then in Jharkhand you had the strongholds of Maoists were in Buda Pahad and Saranda forests. So both these areas have been totally cleared, and only some remnants are left in Kulhan region, which again where right now CoBRA is doing an extremely good job. But the major focus has been the South Bastar area, and results are there for all to see. The force is doing an excellent job, and in due course, in a short time period, we are looking at clearing that area as well. Initial stage, if we look at, the Maoists had a very big advantage, that is of knowing the terrain. They were masters of that terrain. We were entering into their areas, and CoBRAs, the main component of that, are drawn from all over the country, so they had very little idea about the terrain. So that was a huge challenge. Now over a period of time, the CRPF and the CoBRAs have got very well equipped, both in terms of say weaponry. So night vision, thermal imagers, all these things have come. But a very big game changer, if I have to point out, that there are two things. One is the very advanced armored vehicles we have brought in, 8-wheeled vehicles. They have a 360-degree view when it comes to taking on the enemy. So that is a very good acquisition of the CRPF, I would say. And the second is the drones, the surveillance drones. Now we have each of my vulnerably located camps. They are well equipped with drones, which they send out for surveillance. They can cover a large amount of area. They can also to an extent penetrate the foliage, and aided by very good technology and aided by some other agencies as well, we get a very good view of their movement and their activities. So it acts as a huge check on them as well, because in jungles beyond a point your visibility is restricted. So every time you are moving out, you are totally dependent on what you can see physically. But with the eyes in the sky, you are assured of a lot of clarity of what lies ahead of you.
CRPF is deployed in Naxal affected areas for a long time along with other CAPFs. Basically, they were deployed to assist state police in anti-naxal and counter-insurgency operations. But in these jungles of the Red Corridor, the Naxalites had one advantage. They were well acquainted with these jungles. On the other hand, troops had to first acclimatize themselves with this new operating environment. Thus, it was decided to raise a special commando unit of CRPF. The CoBRA Commandos were established during a period when traditional military strategies were proving ineffective in dense jungle environments. Conventional forces struggled with visibility, mobility, and the unpredictable nature of jungle warfare. Recognizing these challenges, the government sought to create a specialized unit trained explicitly for jungle operations. The concept of the CoBRA Commandos was inspired by the successful guerrilla tactics used in historical conflicts like the Vietnam War, where jungle warfare was prominent. The initial cadre of the CoBRA Commandos was selected from the most skilled within existing units, chosen for their physical endurance, mental toughness, and exceptional combat skills. This elite force was established on 12 September 2008 with the inspiring motto of victory for the gallant in war.
We got to prepare ourselves for all the time. As they say, they got to succeed once and we got to succeed every time. So we got to, hone up that kind of 100% perfection. Now the day begins early in the morning and the activities goes right till the late evening. Not only we train ourselves along the physical aspects, we go into the various learnings based on our briefings, debriefings, the kind of developments taken place in the past vis-a-vis our adversaries. And then of course one thing which is the common binding thread running all throughout is the team spirit.
Their mandate is to perform anti-naxal and counter-insurgency operations. For this, they perform reconnaissance and long-range patrols. They also gather intelligence about the activities of insurgents. Also, special intelligence courses are conducted by premier intelligence agencies. CoBRAs also carry out strikes whenever needed. Not only has Maoist violence gone down, but the area of influence of left extremism has also shrunk considerably in over the last 9 years. Naxal-related violence in the country has decreased by over 70% from 1,136 incidents in 2013 to 531 last year. The number of deaths related to these violence also plummeted by over 75% from 397 deaths in 2014 to 98 deaths last year.
अगर सरकार की कोई भी योजना चलानी है उस क्षेत्र में तो जब तक हमारे कैंप्स नहीं लगेंगे तब तक वहाँ पर बाकी कोई भी सरकार की एजेंसी पहुँच ही नहीं सकती है। इनफैक्ट सरकार के द्वारा जहाँ जहाँ हमारे कैंप्स, अब तो कैंप को ही मानकर चल रहे हैं कि वही हमारा हब पॉइंट रहेगा, वही हमारा सेंट्रल पॉइंट रहेगा। किसी भी योजना को चलाने के लिए केंद्र बिंदु जो होगा हमारा कैंप ही होगा। माननीय गृह मंत्री के द्वारा ही बोला गया कि जो भी कैंप हमारा लगेगा उसके जो भी हमारा नया कैंप है उसके चारों तरफ 5 किलोमीटर के रेडियस में सरकार की सारी योजनाएँ वहाँ हम लोग लागू करें। तो हमारा रोल अगर आप देखिए कोबरा का तो डेवलपमेंट से लेकर के ऑपरेशन से लेकर के हमारा अपना डिफेंस सब कुछ कोबरा का ही हो जाता है।
The CoBRA also faces various challenges. Apart from the adversary, the biggest challenge is the inhospitable terrain. The jungles of central India can be deadly at times. There are various threats such as poisonous snakes, wild animals, and also mosquitoes. Saving troops from diseases like dengue is also a big challenge. Further, the lack of proper drinking water and basic sanitation is also a challenge when you're operating deep inside the jungles. Especially the monsoons are much more ruthless. Connectivity is a major issue. But with various technological advancements, the CoBRA is dealing with these problems successfully.
कहावत है कि द मोर यू स्वेट इन ट्रेनिंग द लेस यू ब्रीथ इन वार, यू आर एज गुड योर ट्रेनिंग। ये कहावत जो है दिस इज वेरी मच एप्ट फॉर कोबरा। A CoBRA commando who trains himself for any type of situation, be it training, be it his operation purpose. But for training, he requires more proficiency than his ops purpose, because the performance he will be giving in his training, he will be as good in his ground also. As a CoBRA commander, one requires to lead from front, be it training, be it on ground.
एक फ्लैट ट्रेजेक्ट्री का वेपन है, एक हाई ट्रेजेक्ट्री का वेपन है। फ्लैट ट्रेजेक्ट्री का वेपन वो है जो हम दुश्मन दिखने पर आमने सामने की लड़ाई के दौरान यूज़ करते हैं। फ्लैट ट्रेजेक्ट्री का वेपन या एरिया वेपन वो होता है जिसका इस्तेमाल हम तब करते हैं जब शत्रु अदृश्य है या किसी ऊंची पहाड़ी के पीछे छिपा हुआ है जो हमें दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है। उस फ्लैट ट्रेजेक्ट्री में हमारे पास तमाम तरह की साइट है। उन साइटों को लगा करके, जैसे AK-47 पर लगने के लिए हमारे पास त्रिकोण साइट है और भी अन्य साइटें हैं, उन साइटों को लगा करके हम ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अचीवमेंट प्राप्त करते हैं।
As part of our coverage, we visited Dabba Marka in Sukma district in Chhattisgarh. We were warmly received by the local villagers. The hospitality, culture and tradition lured us. They pompously showed us their new possessions, a school, a market and road that never existed before the arrival of the CoBRA camp. We traverse the narrow alleys to understand the history of this place. The Maoists aim to isolate the population, particularly the tribal and economically disadvantaged communities residing in their strongholds, from the broader society. They have gained notoriety for sabotaging infrastructure such as roads and communication networks, effectively isolating these populations from the mainstream India. Dabba Marka was once considered liberated zone where governance did not exist, or the Naxals ran their parallel government. However, despite their best efforts to damage these facilities, security forces have successfully established control in many areas where the Maoists once held sway. CRPF established Dabba Marka camp in February 2023. Maoists were rattled and they launched a grenade attack on CoBRA, in which our 4 commandos were injured and 2 Maoists were killed. Today, Dabba Marka village is Naxal free.
गांव वाले हमारे को बताते हैं कि लगभग 100 की नफरी में लोग इस तालाब पे उस तालाब पे ऐसे बैठे रहते थे और इस इलाके में आने के लिए 1000 से 1500 जवानों की ज़रूरत पड़ती थी। एक बार हमारा 2016 में यहाँ पर इनकाउंटर भी हुआ है। तो इस इलाके में नक्सलियों की जो खेती, जो आप पीछे देख रहे होंगे तालाब, ये इसी में मछलियाँ पकड़ते हैं। जो पीछे की साइड को जो देख रहे हैं उसमें खेती करते थे। इस साइड में भी एक तालाब है, उसमें अलग से यहीं उनका मचान और रहने का जो सिस्टम है पूरा एकदम हार्डकोर एरिया होता था। ये नक्सलियों का सबसे बड़ा गढ़ माना जाता था। इस इलाके में जब कोबरा आई, कोबरा आने के बाद 2018 में पलोडी कैंप लगा, उसके बावजूद भी ये इलाका नहीं खाली हुआ। जब 2022 में पोटकपल्ली कैंप लगा, उसके बाद में ये इलाका धीरे धीरे यहाँ से विस्थापित होने लगे। और आज तो ये सिचुएशन है कि इस एक्सिस पे सलातोंग कैंप, दुलेड़ कैंप, मरकाज गुंडा, ये कैंप लगने के बाद अब तो जो बोटेटोंग बटालियन हेडक्वार्टर होता था, वहाँ से भी वो विस्थापित हो गए हैं।
From Chhattisgarh, it was time to visit CoBRA School of Jungle Warfare and Tactics in Belgaum. It is a premier commando training institute of the CRPF, entrusted with the main responsibility of conducting CoBRA Commando pre-induction training for the conversion of CRPF personnel into CoBRA Commandos. The training program spans several months and encompasses various aspects of survival combat and psychological preparedness.
Commando means he should 6 feet tall, should have good firing skills, he should be an expert in navigator, and that is very much true. But behind all these traits, physical traits, there lurks a very important trait which is in the heart of commando training, that is his mental toughness and emotional resilience. So, we are building these traits, physical traits around this core subject, because it is always said that once a commando is always a commando. Why we say this? Because all this physical efficiency and everything, it will last for 6 months. If he is not repeating or honing his skills, it will wane away. Whereas the mental toughness part, once a commando undergoes a commando training and becomes a commando, that will go into his subconscious. So, that can be retrieved any time. Like I have done commando maybe 20 years back, but when time comes, my subconscious brings it out, I will become a commando again. That is why we attach lot of importance to this mental toughness and emotional resilience.
No two situations in life or war are similar. It's all about how extreme a commando's mind and body can handle. And after they arrive at the Belgaum CoBRA Commando Training School, their minds and bodies are tested beyond endurance.
During the 12 weeks, Hell Week is one of the toughest phases for the trainees. The whole biological cycle of commandos is disrupted during this week. Hell Week arrives without any prior information to the trainees, and they are called for training and tactical exercises at the oddest of timings. There is minimum rest of only 2 to 3 hours in a day, which puts to test not only their physical endurance, but also their mental toughness. The entire schedule of Hell Week is kept a secret, which only the immediate trainer knows. Commandos are trained in survival techniques essential for operating in the jungle. This includes building shelters, sourcing food and water, navigating without maps, and the first aid skills tailored to jungle-specific injuries and diseases. Jungle warfare also requires proficiency in close-quarter combat and guerrilla tactics. The CoBRA Commandos undergo extensive training in hand-to-hand combat, ambush strategies. They also train with conventional firearms, emphasizing marksmanship in low visibility conditions. The ability to navigate through dense vegetation and track both enemy movements and wildlife is crucial. Commandos learn to read the subtle signs of the jungle, such as broken branches or disturbed foliage, which can indicate the presence of adversaries. Operating in isolation within the harsh environment of the jungle requires immense mental fortitude. Psychological training helps commandos deal with stress, fear, and the sense of isolation that comes with extended missions in the wild. The operational tactics of the CoBRA Commandos are heavily influenced by the principles of stealth, surprise, and adaptability. Their primary role often involves reconnaissance, direct action, and unconventional warfare. The CoBRA Commandos are masters of stealth. They use the natural cover provided by the jungle to move undetected, often infiltrating enemy lines to gather intelligence or position themselves for a surprise attack. Using their knowledge of the terrain, commandos set up ambushes that exploit the limited maneuverability of their adversaries. Their surprise attacks are designed to inflict maximum damage before the enemy has a chance to respond. Adopting hit-and-run tactics, the CoBRA Commandos engage in guerrilla warfare. They strike swiftly and retreat into the jungle, making it difficult for the enemy to launch a counterattack. The jungle is an ever-changing environment, with weather conditions and terrain altering frequently. CoBRA Commandos are trained to adapt their strategies on the fly, ensuring their operations remain effective under all circumstances. The gear of a CoBRA Commando is specialized to suit the demands of jungle warfare. Light and functional, their equipment includes camouflage uniforms designed to blend into the jungle. In addition to standard firearms, commandos carry silent weapons like knives, which are essential for covert operations.
जंगल वॉरफेयर बाकी वॉरफेयर से पूरी तरह से अलग होता है। इस लड़ाई में विजेता वो होता है जिसे जंगल की ज़्यादा जानकारी होती है। इस लड़ाई में एक लिमिटेशन और है कि आप लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेज के साथ लड़ाई लड़ते हैं, क्योंकि आप जितना सामान कैरी कर सकते हैं उसी के साथ आपको जंगल में लड़ाई लड़नी होती है। तो हम अपनी ट्रेनिंग में किसी भी टीम को जंगल में कैसे चलना है वो सिखाते हैं, उसके बाद में फील्ड क्राफ्ट और टैक्टिक्स सिखाते हैं। तो हमारी ट्रेनिंग पाने के बाद में एक कमांडो टीम जंगल में अपने आप को संगठित सुरक्षित रखते हुए दुश्मन पर विजय पाने में पूरी तरह से सक्षम होती है।
To impart awareness about IEDs, holistically, an IED room has also been developed. The IED room is equipped with state-of-the-art depictions of various mechanisms used by the enemy and also the latest tools and equipment to counter them. All the trainees are sensitized with all the precautions which need to be taken while encountering IEDs and counter the threat of IEDs.
IEDs are the bombs planted by the Naxals that are difficult to detect and avoid them. CoBRA Commandos are trained to detect and avoid them by having an exposure to this IED lane and IED room.
Back at their bases, they stand tall, tired, but proud. There is perfect amalgamation of physical activity like exercises and games, nutritious diet, and soul-soothing music with their own band. CoBRA was awarded 18 Shaurya Chakra, 5 Kirti Chakra, 2 PPMG, 344 PMG, 243 Parakram Padak, 6 Jeevan Raksha Padak, 13,027 Antarik Suraksha Padak, and 72 personnel and 7 K9 were martyred during operations.
We have sacrificed a lot. We have had 72 martyrs from CoBRA, which includes 4 gazetted officers as well. And in return for the good work, they have won 369 medals, in which there are 5 Kirti Chakras and 18 Shaurya Chakras, which is a huge, huge honor for the force. And it speaks for the valor of the CoBRAs.
Their unwavering dedication and heroism has once again prevailed, reinforcing their reputation as the guardians of peace. Their story would echo through time, an inspiration for generations to come, a testament to the power of unity, courage, and the will to protect what is right. The legacy of the CoBRA Commandos is one of resilience, bravery, and unparalleled skill in jungle warfare. As modern warfare evolves, so do the training and the tactics of these elite commandos. Advances in technology such as drones and improved surveillance equipment are integrated into their operations, enhancing their effectiveness while maintaining the core principles that have always defined them. The CoBRA Commandos remain a vital component of our strategy in regions where jungle terrain presents significant challenges. Their continued adaptation to new threats and environments ensures that they remain at the forefront of jungle warfare, embodying the spirit of CoBRA. As they continue to evolve, the CoBRA Commandos will undoubtedly remain a key asset in the realm of national security of India.
Their reaching inside has led to the reaching of the administration, meaning medical facilities, PHCs are opening up, electricity is reaching, telephone towers are getting built, then your roads are getting built. So, and also the providing of rations and all, they are reaching much closer to that population which had been denied for n number of years. So, CoBRA would play a very important role in this because they are the ones who go inside, making tactical movements, clearing the area, and doing an extremely good job.
As I end this feature, after seeing the tough operational and training aspects of CoBRA Commandos, I can only say that as a nation, we are indebted to you for eternity. With camera persons Jitendra Singh Negi, Junaid Iqbal Khan, I'm Kriti Mishra, signing off from the jungles of Chhattisgarh.
To watch more programs of Sansad TV, subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to like and share them.